All right, I'm here with Coach David McLaughlin. Coach, we faced number 22 Florida today. The first half, was a little bit spotty. We had some moments where we shine, but after that halftime, we came out and we saw glimpses of what this team is and what we can be going forward. Can you talk about maybe what you said to the team before heading out?
Yeah, I first off, a lot of credit to Florida. Great environment, really good team, well coached. Obviously defending national champs, and they came out and really set a tone physically at both ends of the court in the first half, and I think it got us on our heels quite a bit. And when a really good team knocks you like that, it takes a lot to get back in. So halftime was a discussion of we have to play with more swagger. We got to play with more swagger on both ends of the court, especially on the defensive end. We got to try and be as physical as we can on the glass. They're the best offensive rebounding team in the country, so it was quite a challenge, which it proved to be in the second half. And we had to shoot with more confidence. I thought we shot with more confidence in the second half. We spaced it a little better. We had more paint touches. But again, I just think we got knocked in the face. We got punched right in the face in the first half by a very good team in a great basketball environment. And when that happens again, we need to respond earlier than we did tonight.
Right, and like you said, it was a challenge, especially heading into that second half. A lot of positives came from this game. I'm not sure if you know, but 45 points scored in that second half. That's tied for the second most an opponent has scored against Florida, this season. Knowing that you guys went out and you did something at that magnitude, can you just talk about what that says about this team's resilience?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is, one, there's no moral victories, right? So it's stats are stats. But, I think we can be a very, very dangerous offensive team, and the ability to do that means you have to take care of the ball. And we took care of the ball. I think for the last, I would say 33 minutes of the game, I think we had 4 or 5 turnovers. So when you can take care of the ball, we have enough shooting, we can stretch the defense enough, we have enough playmaking that we can make plays. The biggest thing for us is we couldn't get stops to marry our offensive productivity in the second half, and that was disappointing, but a reality.
Right, and finally, like you said post-game, all of these non-conference matches have kind of been, tests to see what we can be when Ivy League play starts. Can you talk about maybe what your message is to your team heading into Ivy League play?
Yeah, we got one more opponent, non-league, and we'll prepare for those guys. And I think the biggest thing is what our identity wants to be, who we want to be, like who our guys want to be as a team, who we want to be as a program. And that's on both sides of the ball. And we know we need to be able to value the ball on the offensive side. We want to continue to play fast when we can. Defensively, we have to play with an edge. We have to finish possessions. And we have to be a player-led group. That's incredibly important. When you're a player-led group, you're a group that's going to hold each other accountable. You're a group that's going to be able to accept radical feedback. And I really think that's when growth happens.
Great. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
I'm here with Kareem Thomas. Kareem, I don't know if you overheard, but in that second half, you guys came out, scored 45 points. That was the second most scored by an opponent against Florida this season. I know the first half was a little bit spotty. There are a lot of things that you guys can work on, but knowing that there was a positive highlight coming out of that second half, what does that mean to you?
Oh, it means a lot. We just went out there and we decided that we were just going to play until the last buzzer. Things obviously weren't going our way at the start, but just finishing the game that we started is big for us, and obviously it's a big accomplishment to have a feat like that on our resume, and I think it's going to help us come together.
Right, and even though you're a sophomore, you're a major figure on this team. I mean, I'm sure everyone kind of looks up to you a little bit, and you are kind of like a main person on the team that people can look to for advice and that sort of thing. What's your message to maybe the underclassmen or anyone who may come to you during this time before we head into Ivy play?
Yeah, I would just say keep your head on straight and keep working. I'm sure a lot of people know, didn't play much last year, 2 points per game. Now I'm doing a lot better. So just know that your time is coming and always be ready for that moment because it can come at any time. So just always be ready, always be paying attention, and learn what you can learn even when you're not on the court.
And finally, I want to talk about just your performance over the past, couple games or the last 11, 12 games and your improvement from last season. I believe your season high last year was 9 points, and now it's, I believe, 27. You're consistently scoring, 15 plus points. Can you talk about what it means to kind of come to a place like this, score 19 points, and, give your team that leverage in the second half?
Yeah, it means a lot. Definitely blessed to be able to do all this stuff, but I wouldn't say that it wasn't there last year. It just wasn't my time yet. And I like to think that it's my time now and going on into the future. So really blessed and just looking to build on it.
Perfect. Thank you. All right, I'm here with Jaden Williams. Jaden, we've talked about it. This is a homecoming game for you. You got to have your family in the crowd cheering for you. Can you explain kind of what it's like to, in your senior year, come home and, play a game here at UF?
As I said, it means the world. My parents and my friends, my family, all coming out and supporting me. That's what it's all about. And I want to do the same for them wherever they go. So I appreciate them coming out and supporting me as well.
Can you talk about just the overall effort that was put into today's game?
A lot of preparation, a lot of know your personnel. Over 40 minutes of film, just on your own, and so just making sure that we're ready physically and mentally, and trying to get our technicality down as well. At the end of the day, we know they had some size on us, but we just got to play through that. So.
I know in the first half things were a little spotty. Coming out of halftime, you guys were dominant. It showed glimpses of what this team is and who we could be. I don't know if you know, but you guys scored 45 in that second half, and that is tied for second most scored by an opponent against Florida this season. So, some good did come out of this. Can you talk about, having a game like that, or a half like that rather, and what that can do for you guys moving into Ivy play?
Positive momentum for sure. But at the end of the day, it's a 40-minute game, so we got to keep it going in the first half as well. Second half is great because our coaches challenged us and we responded well, but I feel like us as a team, we tout ourselves as a player-led team, and so that's got to show from us personally in the first half as well.
Yeah, and finally, like you've said and like everyone has said all year, it's a player-led team. As a senior captain, what's your message going to be to your underclassmen and to your team heading into Ivy play?
It's a whole different world. The scouts are so much better. There's so much that goes into each and every game, and so just making sure that we can control what we control, or we control what we control. And then, the uncontrollables will happen, but at the end of the day, it matters on what we put our focus on and what we do.
Perfect. Thank you.